Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating. This idea that a musical key can have its own distinct personality. And for this journey, our main character is going to be the warm, clear, and reassuring key of G major. It sounds a little strange, right? Can a collection of notes really have a personality? But think about it. For centuries, composers have reached for certain keys to create specific moods. And over time, through all that repetition, those keys have kind of absorbed those feelings. They've developed these distinct emotional characters, almost like people. So if G major were a person, who would it be? Well, it's not going to be the dramatic hero or some brooding philosopher. No. Think of G major more like the gentle companion or the steady optimist. It's a character defined by contentment, by reliability, and this really natural, easygoing cheerfulness. So, how do we actually build a personality profile for a musical key? Let's get into it and break down what makes G major sound and feel the way it does. To really get a feel for G major, it helps to see where it fits in with its neighbors. On one side, you've got C major. It's often called the people's key because it has no sharps or flats. It feels solid, like a foundation. On the other side, you have D major, the key of glory, which is full of all this heroic fanfare. G major sits right in that beautiful sweet spot in the middle. It offers a warmer, more comforting vibe than C major, but without all the formal, triumphant noise of D. So what's the secret? What's the technical reason for G major's unique personality? It's actually really simple. It all comes down to this number, 1. It has just one single sharp in its key signature, an F sharp. And that right there is the secret ingredient. That one little sharp is what gives G major its whole philosophy, brightness without bombast. It's bright, but it's not piercing. It feels happy, but in this really genuine, unforced kind of way. And that's exactly why it's so often used to create a feeling of serenity and peaceful thought. It is, quite simply, a key of well-being. Okay, so we've got its character down, but where do we typically find G major out in the wild? What are its natural musical habitats? Well, composers instinctively use G major's personality all the time. Its soothing quality is just perfect for lullabies, right? Its gentle nature is amazing at evoking those pastoral countryside scenes. Think sunlight streaming through the trees. In bigger, more dramatic pieces, it's often used for these little interludes of charm and grace. And oh yeah, it's a huge favorite in folk and pop music, especially on the guitar, where its open strings just resonate and create this full, rich, totally heartwarming sound. We've talked about the theory, but let's be real. Music is meant to be heard. So let's take a little guided listening tour and hear G major's personality in action. We'll use 3 classic piano pieces that are basically cornerstones of learning music. First up is the super famous Minuet in G major. Now, for the longest time, everyone thought Bach wrote this, but it was actually a composer named Christian Petzold. It's a light, really accessible Baroque dance, and it's the perfect showcase for G major's straightforward and bright character. So as you listen, really try to feel that steady 3/4 pulse. That's the heartbeat of a minuet dance. Notice how the phrases are super clear and they repeat. And even when the harmony takes a little detour, it always comes back to that feeling of graceful optimism. That is pure G major. Okay, our second example is from Robert Schumann's album for the young. It's called Soldier's March, and the whole point of it is to capture the simple, energetic nature of a kid's imagination. Schumann chose G major for a reason, for its straightforward, unburdened character. When you listen, you can totally hear that in the driving rhythm and the strong, confident harmonies. The music always returns, very decisively back to its bright G major home, and that just reinforces that feeling of cheerful, childlike bravado. And for our final piece, we have a really charming sonatina in G major, which is often associated with Beethoven. This work is all about elegance, and it really showcases G major's capacity for peaceful, unforced expression. Here, what you really want to listen for is that classical clarity. The melodies are simple and they feel like little songs. The texture is so transparent that it just lets that beautiful melody shine. It's a perfect example of G major's more lyrical and peaceful side. So after our little listening tour, let's zoom back out. What's the big picture here? What is the ultimate takeaway about our gentle companion G major? I think one source just put it perfectly. G major is a musical embrace of quiet joy and profound, unagitated contentment. Wow. It's that feeling of the golden hour, just before sunset, completely bottled into sound. And this is what makes G major's place in music so unique and, honestly, so indispensable. It is the key of gentle confidence and well-being. It avoids the stark neutrality of C major, and it sidesteps the heroic bombast of D major. It just creates a sonic world of pure, profound contentment. And that brings us to the end of our explainer, but really it's a new beginning for your listening. The next time you put on a favorite song or a piece of music, ask yourself, what personality am I hearing? Don't just hear the notes. Listen for the character within them. Happy listening!